All right, I've got a little two for one. These are kind of both short, so they'll fit nicely for my last video. Goldman Sachs purchase of bank stake in Iceland. Customers close down accounts in protest and go to a credit union. Damn it, I am telling you, the Icelanders have this freaking thing right. Iceland once again for the win. I love those people. But I want to start off with a parody kind of beatbox I just did yesterday. I got to do it again. I already have to do it. Another store, another retail apocalypse victim. Another one bites the dust, right? Sears. And how long have I periodically, up Sears, oh, another shit, closing, firing, up Sears. I told you, another Walking Dead man. Sears, Zero Hedge has this, of course, enters death spiral. Vendors halt shipments and insurers bail. Can't wait to hear what they're saying. And by the way, you know what I said when CompUSA closed, and then CompUSA became someone else, and Tiger Direct came, and then they closed, and all that. Store closing, man, you might get a real nice deal on something. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff in Sears, from electronics, TVs, video cameras, steel cameras, treadmills, lawnmowers, riding mowers. There could be some deals. I told you, as the apocalypse, the financial and everything that goes with it, in this case, the retail apocalypse, you are going to find deals of a lifetime. People are going to be selling stuff cheap because they're going to need money. We're not even there yet. And you can already get the bonuses from Sears and this one and that one's closing, and unbelievable. When we commented yesterday morning on the unexpected going concern notice in Sears just filed a 10K, which sent the stock crashing, we pointed out the immediate spin provided by Eddie Lampert's distressed retailer, which promised that its comeback plan may help alleviate the concerns. Quote, satisfying our estimated liquidity needs 12 months from the issuance of the financial statements, end quote, to which, however, we added the footnote, Zero Hedge did, that the question is the question is what happens when vendors start demanding cash on delivery, as concerns about SHLD's liquidity concerns continue to grow. As it turned out, we wouldn't have to wait long, because overnight Reuters reported that the worst case Sears scenario we envisioned for Sears is now taking shape. And that suppliers to Sears have told Reuters they are doubling down on defensive measures, such as reducing shipments and asking for better payment terms to protect against the risk of non-payment, as the company warned about its finances. The company's disclosure turned the focus to its vendors, as tension is expected to mount ahead of the key fourth quarter selling season amid rising concern about a potential bankruptcy, they said. Quoted by Reuters, the managing director of a Bangladesh home-based textile firm said his company is using only a handful of its production lines to manufacture products for Sears' 2017 holiday sales. Last year, nearly half of the company's lines in the 4 factories were producing for Sears. We have to protect ourselves from the risk of non-payment, said the managing director, who declined to be identified for fear of disrupting his company's relationship with Sears. Furthermore, precisely what we predicted, as Mark Cohen, the former CEO of Sears Canada and director of retail studies at Columbia Business School, said vendors will keep a close eye on Sears' finances. Whatever vendors continue to support them are now going to put them on even more of a short string. That means they'll ship them smaller quantities and demand payment either in advance or immediately upon delivery. He also added, Sears stores are pathetically, badly inventoried today, and they will become worse. Another supplier to Sears, Arnold Kamler, CEO of New Jersey-based bicycle manufacturer and importer Kent International Inc., said he was not surprised by Sears' Tuesday announcement. He said he noticed a warning sign last year when Sears pushed to increase its purchases, which occurred because a lot of their current suppliers were either cutting them off or limiting them on credit. Kamler says he declined to sell Sears more product and that he receives a report once a week from his accounting department because of concerns around billing, payments, and deductions. The Bangladesh-based clothing supplier said Sears' announcement is making him reevaluate accepting new orders. So far, there was only speculation that they would declare bankruptcy in 2017, he said. But now they're acknowledging it, which definitely complicates our relationship with them and our decision to accept future orders from Sears. So you were on the fence of, on the side of, it's just hearsay, it's just just ghetto speak at this point, riffraff, some riffraff going on the internet, interwebs. No, when we say Sears is Walking Dead, man, and we see the numbers and I show the charts, I show the data, and I do this every freaking day, we know what we're looking at. Those of us that study this. Complicates the relationship. No kidding. You don't say. A second clothing supplier from Bangladesh, who did not wish to be named, said he renegotiated payment terms with Sears a year ago. Good job. You saw that one coming. Congratulations, sir. And was being paid within 15 days of sending a shipment, compared to the traditional 60 days. He is considering asking the company for an advance payment on orders going forward. I was going to say Mr. So-and-so, but he declined to give his name. Mr. So-and-so from Bangladesh, good job. You're doing the right thing for your company. You saw it coming. Again, good job, buddy. However, Sears disagreed. And according to Jason Haller, the company's CFO, Sears' move to raise capital in recent months is helping strengthen the company's balance sheet, he claimed in a blog post. Oh, he's blogging about it now. That's interesting. Sears is a viable business that can meet its financial and other obligations for the foreseeable future, he said. He cited a $1 billion increase in liquidity from a new secured loan facility and a new asset-backed loan that provided $250 million more in financial flexibility. The only problem with this is that Sears continues to be a melting ice cube, which, while not as bad as Tesla, is burning through hundreds of millions each year. Money which in recent years has come out of Eddie Lampert's pocket, either directly or indirectly, with loan guarantees. At some point, even Lampert will realize that throwing away billions to sustain the Sears zombie is no longer a viable strategy, especially if the vendor freakout prompts a sudden need for cash, which the company does not have. Speaking of Sears cash, here's some more details from Reuters. Sears' cash position has shrunk dramatically in recent years. Sears, which lost $2.22 billion in the year ended January 28, 2017, had $286 million in cash on hand, down from 3 times that amount, almost $609 million in 2012. Retailers in distress often use their accounts receivable to finance operations, and Sears had $466 million in receivables, down from $635 million in 2012. So is a bankruptcy inevitable? Well, yes, and increasingly so with every passing day that the company avoids filing. Neil Sunders, managing director at the retail research firm Global Data, said tension will grow as the year goes on. As we move towards the last quarter, I think we'll find there are more and more suppliers that are not necessarily willing to engage with Sears and will demand cash up front. Another sign of Sears' weakness is that the insurance companies that once provided policies to Sears vendors, insuring against non-payment for their goods, are no longer doing so. Doug Collins, regional director for risk services at Atradius Trade Credit Insurance, said his firm has stopped providing insurance to Sears vendors. We tried to hang in as long as we could, he said. Vendors may try to get a few more cycles in before the worst happens, and then it just depends if they're lucky or not, he said. Of course, if that's the case, then Sears has nothing to worry about. The past 9 years of trading this market has shown is that luck or hope, smoking hopium, is the only strategy that matters for this market. And courtesy of central banks, it always somehow shows up in the last moment. Yeah, again, Walking Dead, man. Now, Iceland. Goldman Sachs' purchase of bank stake equates to customers closing down accounts in protest. I effing love it. Goldman, you may call all your clients and everybody else Muppets, but we, the people of Iceland, think you're the Muppet. And we're going to show you again, you can vote. People, listen to me. You can vote with your pocketbook. Starbucks. We're going to hire 10,000 refugees. Screw the Americans. Oh, massive losses, profit. CEO, stepping down to a lower level. New guy, he's going to take the CEO position because of what he did, idiot. Target, transgender bathrooms. We're definitely getting on that. Nope. People don't like that idea. Thank you very much. You lost $15 billion because of that nonsense. Have a nice day, you jerk. How do we do it? Do we vote? Democrat, Republican? No. We voted with our wallet. And this is the same thing. You may not be going to the bank to buy something, but your money's stored there and they're going to use your money. And now that Goldman has a stake in the bank you use, people have said, you think we're dumb. You think we're not paying attention. Wrong. As Donald Trump said when he was back on the campaign trail and they'd have the debates, wrong. The purchase of a 30% stake in the Icelandic bank Arion by a team of international investment funds led by Goldman Sachs has been met with criticism from the general public, the customers of Arion Bank, as well as politicians. The director of a small independent credit union in North Iceland told the local news site Pfizer, or is that Pfizer, that he had seen a dramatic increase in new customers. Right? So the director of a small independent credit union has seen a dramatic increase in new customers since the purchase was announced. They left that bank and went to his credit union. Isn't that lovely? On Sunday, the three investment funds, Attestor Capital LLP, whoever they're, announced that they had purchased 30% in Arion, as well as securing an option to purchase an additional 21.9% stake in the bank, which would be what? 30 plus 21, 21.9, we'll call it 22. That's a 52% stake. Oh, so now you're the majority shareholder of a bank, so you get to tell it what to do, right? Oh, interesting. Icelanders deserve better. The purchase set off an intense debate in Iceland about whether it was appropriate that an Icelandic bank was owned by foreign hedge funds and investors like Goldman Sachs, which is closely associated with the excess which brought about the 2008 financial crash. The collapse of the Icelandic banks in the fall of 2008 brought about a massive recession and economic hardship which Icelanders have not forgotten. While the Prime Minister of Iceland, Bjarni, whatever his last name is, the chairman of the Conservative Independence Party, celebrated the investment. Other political leaders and MPs expressed greater skepticism or outright opposition. One MP for the centrist Bright Future, which forms a part of the ruling center-right coalition, said the Icelandic nation deserved better. The chairwoman of the opposition left Green movement, Katrín, whatever her last name is, told the local newspaper, such and such, that let me tell you something. You want to talk about hard pronunciations? Go look at some of these Iceland names, okay? Told that newspaper that the Icelandic public should be informed about who was really behind the purchase. Quote, especially when we keep in mind the historic precedent and the lead up to the 2008 financial collapse. I think we need to be vigilant, end quote. Aren't all bank owners evil capitalists? Some customers of Arion have also closed down their accounts in protest. Kristen Hrafnsson, a former WikiLeaks activist, posted on Facebook that, I thought it was a she, he had moved his banking to the such and such Strandaman credit union. Tell me, these are horrible words. Others have questioned the point of moving their business, including the leftist intellectual and historian Stefan Palsson, who wondered on Facebook whether there was much difference between bankers. Aren't all bank owners evil capitalists by definition? But let's be fair. True capitalism is one thing. Crony capitalism, I think, is what he's referring to. He just happened to call it capitalism. Again, I love the fact that the people of Iceland are saying, we're watching you. You think you did this in a sly kind of way behind the scenes, and this represents some companies are behind it, but it's really you, Goldman Sachs. The bank is going to take a massive hit. The same massive hit that Target took, that Starbucks is taking, etc. Vote with your wallet or your bank account. You have a bank at JP Morgan, you say, Chase? You have a bank at Bank of America? You have a bank at Citigroup, Citibank? The big banks, any of them? What are you doing? Get out of there. Go to a credit union. Go somewhere else. Take care.